No, I haven't, Your Honor.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print this out so you all both can look at it.
Okay, good.
But of course, it's probation's work product, so you all need to return it. So it's gonna come out on that printer over there.
Yes,
If
sir.
you'll take a seat, they're gonna review that, okay? Howdy, you're on this side, counsel.
First of all, I confirm the ADA.
Oh, you're on this side, counsel. No, that's okay.
You had a little sign.
Yes, so where are we on this case?
The ADA has agreed to one more reset, subject to your approval.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this? It's family violence?
It was Alexandria today.
Ashley Jones for the state.
Ashley.
All right, what is happening on this case? Why is there an agreement to one more reset?
Your Honor, my understanding is that we have extended an offer.
Yeah.
So my understanding, Your Honor, is that the state has extended its deadline on the offer and defense would just like some more time to consider.
All right, Norma, recall this back for December 17th. That's your final plea deadline day,
December 17th,
17th.
next year.
Yeah,
December 17th, all right.
yes. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for addressing it appropriately for court.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a seat, he'll take it to you.
What page is Mahia on?
Page 3.
Thank you. All right, everyone, just give me 5 minutes. All right, are you all proceeding on the motion to revoke?
No, Your Honor, we were trying to see on it, but he has a misdemeanor domestic violence case that the state wants to address prior to them, resolving this. I conferred with, state on it. He has another attorney on that case.
Who is it?
Mr. Jackson's colleague, Brandon. And I believe it is set for January the 14th. In county court set. It's also, I do believe, involves the same alleged victim in the misdemeanor case.
All right, so there are other violations in this motion to revoke. I'm not going to wait for county court at law number 7. Who is is this family violence?
It is just, he just walked out.
All right, so I'm not going to wait for county court at law number 7 and what their plans are. So,
Your Honor, can we just have 1 moment so I can catch up?
all right, if you all will step back. Counsel, this prosecutor will speak with you. All right, so
Okay,
if you
okay, step back.
return to the box.
Let me talk over something.
Luis De Leon.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Hello,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. All right, in this case, has an offer been tendered?
It has, Your Honor, and we've been going back and forth. We have not met, we don't have an agreement yet. In addition to that, I filed a motion for Mr. De Leon to be able to have his GPS removed.
Mhm.
He works for ADT.
Mhm.
He travels to Dallas, where the home office is at, so
Okay,
anytime.
ADT, is this the security?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. And what is his occupation with them?
Well, I'm the district manager in San Antonio, so I train the reps to go door-to-door sales.
All right, why do you want to remove GPS?
Well, he needs to be able to travel to Dallas. And he hasn't had any violations at all since he's been on bond. He will not have any contact at all with the complainant.
State, are you objecting to the removal of GPS? All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 3774, State versus Luis Alberto De Leon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Kristen Mulliner for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Neil Kalfas on behalf of Mr. De Leon.
And are you Mr. De Leon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to remove GPS. How long has your client been on GPS?
Since
Since the start, about almost going on 18 months, 19 months.
All right. State, do you have any objection to the removal of the GPS?
No.
State, are you able to contact the complainant to let them know of the removal of GPS?
Yeah.
All right, and how long would that take?
I can do it in the next 20 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is, since there's no objection to the removal of the GPS, I'll order removal of the GPS, but it will not take effect until December 4th. That will give you time to contact the complainant. Any objections to the removal being December 4th, counsel?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
We're off the record. So an offer has been tendered. When was the offer tendered?
Last setting, and it was re-tendered this setting. And there was a counter offer made that the state's considering, but there's not an agreement.
All right, when was the counter offer made?
This morning.
All right, this is going to be recalled for December 19th. And that will be the plea deadline date. And state, if you're accepting their counter offer, y'all need to let the court know on that date. Otherwise, your next setting after December 19th will be a jury trial. Do you understand? Any questions?
No, Madam Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank
Thank you. Always good seeing you. All right, you're still requesting your jury trial. Is that correct?
This is our plea deadline date, and he has rejected that plea, so we're ready for a trial schedule.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date.
January 14th.
All right, January 14th.
Got it.
And make sure that the acknowledgement of discovery is completed.
Today?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You said January 14th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, where are we on this case?
Judge, I have some missing discovery. I need a 911 call, an IDR, and a dash cam.
All right,
And
state, do you have those discovery in your possession?
I do not have in my possession arresting agency today requesting that information and I'm waiting to go back.
All right, so you said 911 call with us,
the IDR
Mhm.
and the dash cam.
and were you able to tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, recall this back on January.
May we have the 21st? I just reset mine. I wasn't here yesterday for the 21st.
All right, Norma, recall this for January 21st. That's your discovery and also your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Once he signs the reset form. Thank you for
Yes, ma'am.
dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2024 CR 3624, State of Texas versus Ramsey Ibrahim. Can I have the parties announced? State, defense,
Andrew Fraley.
and are you Mr. Ibrahim? Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, yes.
Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ibrahim, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with theft of service as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Thank you.
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. They are taking in consideration 2024 PF 20169. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. One other thing, Judge. We also have this part about from restitution.
All right, thank you.
Want to make sure it's pointed out for the court that that necessarily wasn't in the plea bargain, but that was something we discussed as part of the plea bargain.
All right. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
No, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. Did you understand that that was a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
No objections.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and considered to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We waive PSI, Your Honor. Yes, proceed with sentencing.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just what I've said earlier, Judge, we've done all the upfront restitution in this case. So we'd ask the court to follow the agreement to give him deferred adjudication.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Some cars.
All right, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Is there any mental health issues or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
All right, probation. I'm gonna order the theft course. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right. All right, just go report to probation and I'll go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
I was trying to do that, so that's,
All
thank you.
right, you're welcome. All right, is this a motion to revoke?
No, Judge, actually, this was a request, or I think a motion by possibly probation for Mr. Armstrong had made a request for him to be able to go move back in with his parents and his family and siblings. He's got a child who's, well, he's got the mother of his child is 7 months pregnant. He's been working at Amazon, so they're trying to save money by moving back in with the parents. He's working 30 hours a week at Amazon, about to get 40 hours. And so he's the sole support for the 2 of them. And I guess probation had sent something over and it was initially declined. And then y'all set a hearing last week for today.
Yes, let me see. Oh, have you seen the court summary from probation?
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print this out so you all both can look at it.
Okay, good.
But of course, it's probation's work product, so you all need to return it. So it's gonna come out on that printer over there.
Yes,
If
Judge.
you'll take a seat, they're gonna review that, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, of course.
And then everybody will know what's going on. Marco, don't put any more files up here. Unless it's a plea, otherwise we're taking our break. David Garcia Jr.
This was already up there.
Okay. Yes, no, your case, yes, because we're,
I'll just let them.
right. Thank you. All right, so what is this case about?
Judge, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, from what I understand, the probation is alleging that Mr. Garcia refused to sign off on going to felony drug court.
Yes.
I talked about this with Mr. Garcia. He doesn't seem to recall that being the case. Just taking what he said at face value, I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication.
Probation? Did-
Understanding drug outcome indicates that he refused to be brought over for his screening.
I wasn't even aware of it.
Well, I mean, drug court doesn't just put in there, hey, let's just mess with this person and say they didn't want to come over for screening.
Nobody let me know. Nobody told me anything.
No, here's the thing. When somebody tells you, and you're on probation, somebody tells you need to come over for a screening, then you're supposed to come over for a screening.
They called me down to major booking on one occasion and they got a phone call and they sent me back to the pod. Nobody told me anything. Or else I would have showed up.
Probation, what do you want to do? Yes, all right.
We'd
We'll
be fine with that, Judge.
refer you. So you are being referred for felony drug court.
Right.
If you do not cooperate with their interview, then a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You understand? All right, is there any questions? All right, thank you.
Sorry, one question. Would there be like a specific date? That way I would know to.
Here's the thing. They put you in where they can fit you in. They try to do it as quickly as possible. When somebody calls you down for an interview, you need to go. You
Would the
understand?
interview be here,
No, not in this courtroom,
but in this building?
not necessarily in this building. They may interview you at the jail. They may do it by Zoom, or they may call you over. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Okay.
May be excused.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can give you this back.
All right, thank you.
And Jason's reviewed it too.
Okay. If you all will come up again. Bashan, on his case, if he's not accepted in felony drug court, because I know now they have a wait list, then follow probation's recommendations. Odyssey is so slow.
At least it's working.
Yeah.
All right.
Way better.
I know the feeling.
Read time for a second, please.
All right, so on John Carlos Cisnero Armstrong. State, do you have any objections?
Yes, you do, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 0686, State versus John Carlos Cisneros Armstrong. Will have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, State, Your Honor.
Brian Powers for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Mr. Armstrong?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're here, defense, you're requesting that his residence be moved, is that correct?
Your Honor, was a request by the defendant, and I am assisting him with that. Probation had sent a motion last week. I was notified of the hearing today, and so I'm standing for Mr. Armstrong.
All right. So the location that he's moving in, and I think everybody understands the court's concern as far as having children in the household of a certain age. So do y'all want to address that?
If I may, Judge, this case stems around when Giancarlo was in high school. He was 17, the complainant was 14. And this was a dishonesty about age situation. Nevertheless, it doesn't make him any less guilty of it. And he took responsibility, just as the summary shows, even today, he's still taking summary or accountability for his actions. At the bottom of the page, I believe it shows that's exactly what he's been doing. And what you see is that he's been doing better. He's been attending to his probation. Furthermore, he's been working actively with Amazon. He's about to get a promotion to where he's able to work full time. And this decision actually goes to his growing responsibility, and that he's got a baby on the way, and he's trying to basically save whatever money he can to be able to give that kid a good life. And so that's the purpose behind him moving in with the family, so that can help to alleviate some of the bills. So that's why we're asking, Judge. I mean, if the court feels the need to assign any other safeguards, I guess, he's doing polygraph, he's doing his homework, doing everything that he's supposed to be doing for his SO education. So we just ask that the court take that into consideration.
State.
Judge, the state's position is that obviously because of the actual what he's on probation for and the ages of the other minors that are in the household, plus we don't have any testimony from anybody in that household, whether he should be allowed back there or not. But the main concern is obviously the age of the minors that are in that household.
I can speak as an officer of the court that I've been in touch with his father, as well as he has family members who are in this court today who are standing beside him because.
All right, so let me just tell everyone what my issue is and what I need to make a decision. What I need to make a decision is not here today. This is what, in the court summary, it says that the treatment provider can't make a recommendation on his request because they need certain assessments to be done. So once those assessments are done and I have a recommendation from the treatment provider, if the treatment provider says no, I'll still keep an open mind to consider certain things, but I will not move forward on this without a recommendation either way from the treatment provider. Because I feel as it would be wrong for me, because this is very serious. And it would be wrong for me in my role as protecting society to move forward when your treatment provider says they can't give a recommendation on your request because there are certain things that you need to do. So once that assessment is done, you can reapproach and I'll reconsider.
And can we send that directed to probation to be able to make those assessments, Judge?
Let's go off the record for a moment. Brian with Ms. Ferguson. All right, thank you. Okay, why does this show that his status is transferred to TDC? I don't know why that's there. Brian? In Odyssey, it says that your client was transferred to TDC.
Is that a date?
No, It's Odyssey. Of course, it wouldn't have a date, but you may want to check and to make sure there's no issue.
During last year,
I can take a look.
yeah, we had an MTR, and that was what did it. I think that might have been, if anything to do
And
it,
you'll return that to
that or
probation.
just Odyssey being,
Being Odyssey.
yeah,
Yeah.
with two Ds. So. Take a look. Yeah, figure it out. I'm gonna go let them know.
Yes. Yes.
He was not.
Those are for my case, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I'd also like to approach on a reset in a different case unless we need to come back.
All right, we're gonna, just give me a moment.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Who is here on Archie Dorset? Are you all ready to proceed? Court is calling 2021 CR 5320, State of Texas versus Archie Dorset. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Dorset?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dorset, have you reviewed the documents entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision? First amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Archie Dorset III who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 5320 for the offense of assault family second offense on August 26, 2021 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Report on condition number 4, in Dare County, Texas, the defendant Archie Dorset III, defendant there, failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August, September, October of 2024 in violation of conditions number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Ma'am.
The state will be waiving and abandoning the remaining violations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a post agreement?
Isn't it, Judge, we ask the court grant the motion to revoke this deferred adjudication and adjudication appealed and impose a sentence of 3 years TUC.
Is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor, obviously with the caveat that he received time for, credit for all the time that he served, that he's entitled to.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
That's the appeal form the sign said, if she, when we talked about if she follows it, you won't be able to appeal.
Yes, ma'am. I agree to it, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court will follow your agreement. The court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Araceli Carinata. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. I'm sorry that you were not able to complete things successfully. It appears that you should not be in a relationship with Araceli
Yes.
Carinata. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Yes.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
The seat, sir.
Here's this one.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who are you here for, counsel?
Jason Andrade, Judge. It's our first.
I don't have a Jason Andrade up here.
No, told him not to put file.
Okay,
It's just a reset. This is our first, I'll call it constructive appearance. He was set for the 29th
all right,
of
where's
October.
the,
Didn't appear. He's present in the courtroom. You want him down here?
yes,
We just got an offer.
okay, thank you. All right. Have you received all discovery
I have, Judge.
and an offer was tendered?
It was today.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
All right. Your plea deadline date will be December 19th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. All right, Norma, December 19th. All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you too. Once he signs the reset form.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Mr. Thornall, we filed a motion on his behalf, motion to amend his conditions of bond.
Mhm.
At the time that we filed the motion, his construction company was doing a lot of work kind of in the east and northeast where the floods happened after the hurricane hit. He's no longer there because he had some bad experiences, I guess, with some of the jobs that his company was out there doing. He was not able to actually go himself, but he's respectfully asking the court for permission to travel at least statewide within the state of Texas, just so that he can quote different jobs and supervise his employees and make sure that he's able to keep as many people employed as he can and also take care of his own obligations.
All right, which page is Mr. Thornhart on, please? I was wondering why his case number wasn't coming up. That's that -02. All right, do you have any objection to his traveling for employment? I love when people say they'll defer to the court, not. All right. So was he previously allowed to travel for work?
He's traveled for work.
All right, what is your issue with his traveling for work?
I'm sorry.
Are there any issues with his traveling for work?
Judge, so just based on the motion that I reviewed, it was requesting multi-state. I don't know if that's changed.
In the body of the motion, it does request multi-state, but in the order, and I'm not trying to, but in the order, we put in there, just defendant allowed to travel throughout the state of Texas for work purposes. And so,
All right, do you have any objection to him traveling out throughout the state of Texas for work? With, of course, notice, 24-hour notice, is he able to do that?
no problem. We can do that, Judge.
No, that's.
All right, let me see the order. And then he wants a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I need a jury trial date. How long do y'all expect this to go? All right, 3 days. I know Mr. Kalfas, he will not take that long.
Yeah.
All right, 14th of January.
Oh, wait, please. I thought it was, I'm sorry. Family violence. I can do January 21st.
All right, January 21st will be your jury trial date. Once you sign that, you're excused. Make sure you sign the acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes, ma'am, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for addressing appropriately.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Doze, and you need a copy of that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so this jury trial, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, need a jury trial date for Doze. How long do y'all expect this to last?
Your Honor, on the state side, we need at least 2.5 days for testimony.
All right, 2.5 days.
I'd say 3.5 to 4, but I don't want to argue with the court, so.
All right, 3 days, Mr. Doze, January 14th.
Thank you, Judge. So back to back.
Oh, yeah, you can
If I
do
can
it.
take that, Judge. I mean, no offense. I know.
Your exams, you were
I mean, that was a
fantastic.
lot easier, but
All right, so we'll see you all then, okay?
yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Actually, those sign ups,
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 008249, State of Texas versus Raul Juarez. Can I have parties announced for the state, family violence,
Raymond Saldana?
defense?
Christian Vega.
And you're Mr. Juarez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court has heard testimony previously. The court asked that this be recalled for the court can consider his application. And I really thought about this, as I think about all cases, for a long time, and I reviewed the memorandum of law. I want everyone to know I do understand the circle of violence, but I have an issue. And he was in the wrong, of course. He was intoxicated. But my issue is, really, what is he supposed to do when someone comes to his home, in his home?
Your Honor, if the state could address that, I'm sorry, Ashley
Yes.
Jones for the state. My understanding is that it was stipulated that there was an agreement between both parties for them to go visit family in Corpus Christi. And so it wasn't a case of the complainant just showed up to his house unbeknownst to the defendant. This was a case where they agreed to go somewhere together, in fact, leave the county together to go visit family and then come back. So just so the court's aware, complainant didn't just show up to the house unannounced.
All right. And so I still do have issues. I have issues when I do a no contact order and you're supposed to abide by my no contact
That is
order.
correct. ma'am.
But at the same time, I'm trying to protect the complainant and the complainant is making it difficult by, I wouldn't say violating the no contact order because she's not under my jurisdiction, but in trying to keep her safe by saying that you're not to have any contact. And then the next thing we know, you all are agreeing to go somewhere together. So you're at fault
Yes, ma'am.
because I have jurisdiction of you.
Yes, ma'am.
She shouldn't have had contact with you because there's a no contact order and the government and myself are trying to protect her. And now we're here where you're extremely intoxicated and you're with her. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison. And the state requested 5. The reason why I'm giving you 3 is because I understand and I see the entire global picture of this, where yes, there was a no contact order in place, but you both were operating outside the court's guidelines. So it's going to be 3 years TDC. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Carmen Gutierrez. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
I do.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right, and I'll recommend the therapeutic community for you to help with any alcohol issues you may have. Once you're released from prison, if you can't find a place that will help you, you can always come back to here if I'm still here, and I'll make sure that you have a place to go to address any drug issues you may have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Judge, one last thing. What is gonna happen with his current probation?
If you all want to come to an agreement for revocation, we can do that. Otherwise, what will happen once he's released from prison, he'll still be on probation. All right, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Judge.
All right, we are taking our recess. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, till Wednesday. I have a jury trial that's coming back at 1:30.
Judge, I have the other file.
All right, yes.
Compliance hearing for his man on probation.
Mhm.
Do I bring him back tomorrow? Do I bring?
Yes.
So I'm gonna be out of county tomorrow morning. I can probably get in late morning if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
You're gonna have to wait.
thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes.
I'm sorry. Sorry to approach you when we're on a recess. This is for Elizabeth Russell. It's a motion to travel. The
Mhm.
state is unopposed so long as he reports when he gets back from North Carolina for this brief Christmas trip the day after his return. It's
All right, you all need to put that in the order.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, all righty. We'll be back on Wednesday.
We're gonna need that acknowledgement form.
শুনেন কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন
মানে
মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটা দায় আপনার উপর পড়বো
সমস্যা থেকে ওই দিনকার তোরে হাত খরচে লেগা 5,000 টাকা দিয়েছিলাম আবার টাকা টাকা কি গাছে ধরে
আব্বাজান আপনি তো কত টাকাই কামান 5,000 টাকা দিলে আপনার কি হয় আমি আপনার একমাত্র আমার মাইয়া তো আমার পিছনে খরচ করবেন না কার পিছনে করবেন আমার একটা কুর্তি পছন্দ হয়েছে ওই কুর্তি আমি কিনতে চাই
কুর্তি মূর্তি লেহেঙ্গা ওড়না এসব দিয়ে তো ঘর বইরে গেছে হাঁটুনের বি জায়গা নাই মন চায় তোর এগুলা নাইজেরিয়া বুলগেরিয়া আর উগান্ডায় পাঠাইয়া দে আচ্ছা এত কিছু কিনার দরকার নাকি
কি করতেছেন আব্বা একটা শখ করছি শখের দাম লাখ টাকা শখ যদি না মিটে তাহলে এই জীবন রেখা লাভ কি আপনি যদি আমার টাকা না দিচ্ছেন তাহলে কিন্তু আমি কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে হাত কেটে নাম লেখা ফেলাম
আচ্ছা ব্লেড দিয়ে এই কুর্তির লেগে হাত কাটানোর দরকার নাই আমি বাইরে যাওয়ানোর সময় তোর টাকা দিয়ে যাবো
থ্যাংক ইউ আব্বা
আচ্ছা লাইলি, তুমি এরকম প্রতিদিন কোনো পড়াই কমপ্লিট করছো না, আমি কিন্তু তোমাকে আর পড়াতে আসবো না।
আসেন না, আপনারা কথাই কইছি আইতে, আমি কইছি
শেষ পর্যন্ত তোমার বাবার কাছে আমাকে কমপ্লেন করতে হবে।
আপনি আমার বাপের কাছে কমপ্লেন করবেন?
পড়াশোনা করছো না, বাবার কাছে কমপ্লেন করবো না? অবশ্যই করবো।
ঠিক আছে, আপনি যান, আপনি আমার বাপের কাছে কমপ্লেন করেন, এদিকে আমি ব্লেড দিয়ে হাত কেটে আপনার হাতের আপনার নাম লেখা রাখবো এখান দিয়ে।
বলতে চলেছ আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ। দেখো, এইবার না হয় আমি তোমার বাবার কাছে কমপ্লেন করবো না, কিন্তু তুমি যদি পরীক্ষায় ডাব্বা মারো তাহলে তো আবার আমি শেষ।
ও তুমি
ডরাইছেন?
ধরাও কেন? মাগের এরকম আতকা মায়ামনের সামনে চলে আসলে তো একটু চিন্তা লাগেই। আর কালকে আবার তোমার মামার সাথে চ্যালেঞ্জ, বললাইছো শেষবার মতো চুলদারি আশ্রয় আসতে।
শুনেন, কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন।
ও বাবা, কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে।
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন।
মানে?
মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটার দায় আপনার উপর পড়বো। সরেন।
আরে ভাই, নাম লিখবা মানে? কি মুসিবতে বললাম, জিততে না পারে এখন 2 নাম্বারই। কি সমস্যা? যাইতে দিতেছ না কেন?
সমস্যা আমার না আপনার। আপনি মানুষ না খুনি?
মানে?
মানে বুঝেন না? কালকে কি করছেন? কাচির লগে কি মিলাচ্ছেন? পেট খারাপের ওষুধ।
দেখো এখন কিন্তু বাড়াবাড়ি হইতেছে। তোমরা কাচ্চি খাইতে চাইছো, আমি খাওয়াইছি ব্যাস। কারণ কারো যদি পেট পাতলা হয়ে যায়, কেউ যদি হজম করতে না পারে, সেটা তো তার সমস্যা, আমার না।
বাড়াবাড়ি আমরা করছি না আপনারা করছেন? মানে ইচ্ছে করে আপনারা খান নাই কালকে, তাই না? যাতে আমার লগে প্রতিশোধ নিতে পারেন।
আর যদি নিতে চাই, সেটা কি দোষ? 3 বার ঘুরি চ্যাম্পিয়ন আমি, তোমার কারণে আমার হারতে হয়েছে।
হারছেন তো কি ইচ্ছে? মাঝে মাঝে কিছু জিতবার লাগা কিছু হারতে হয়।
এই তোমার কাছে হাইরে আমি কি জিতছি? হ্যাঁ,
আমারই জিতছেন, আমার মন জিতছেন।
এই দেখো, তুমি আমার আবার কোনো কিছু তো ফাঁসে দিচ্ছ, আমি বুঝছি। এইসব ফান্দে আমি পা দিতেছি না, প্লিজ।
আমি আপনারে ফাঁসাই নাই, আপনি আমারে ফাঁসাইছেন। আমি তো আপনার প্রেমে পড়ে গেছি ফ্রি মাস্টার। আপনি আমার মারবেন, মারেন, কাটতেও ফালান, কিন্তু আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি, এটাই সাইন্স।
হ্যাঁ, এর জন্যই তো সায়েন্সে মারো ডাব্বা।
যতই অপমান করেন, শাদি তো আপনার আমার লগে হইব।
তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শাদি দূরে থাক, প্রেম পর্যন্ত করতে রাজি নাই আমি। হ্যাঁ, আর এইসব ব্লেড ফেড দিয়ে কোনো কাজ হবে না, আমি ভয় পাই না আর।
দেখো চন্দ্র, তুমি কি করো।
Minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, he is about to leave where he's at. It's a 15-minute drive. Our witness is waiting downstairs to get the drop card and then he's gonna come back up, so.
All right, so do you have a witness ready now or no?
Yeah.
We do.
we have-
All right, let's bring the jurors in.
This is gonna be the second to last witness. The last one will be the fingerprint.
All right, and defense, I'm not holding you to it, but are you planning on calling witnesses?
Potentially 1 year, I'm not real sure yet,
Okay, all right, thank you.
but that would be the at most.
All right, so we will stay and go over the charge. If you can make copies, did you receive it?
I received it, but I didn't know if it was.
Yes, go ahead and, well, you know what? Wait 1 moment, because she may send me another one.
I have a potential instruction, but that may not come up unless I use a certain instruction.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
All right, for the jury.
Everyone, please be seated. State, call your next witness.
State calls Officer Esteban Herrera.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record. All right, if you make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury can hear. State, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Officer Herrera. How are you today?
Good, man. Thank you.
Okay. How are you employed?
I'm employed with San Antonio Police Department,
And how long have you been with San Antonio Police Department?
18 years.
And when you start out with the police department, do you go through any training?
Yeah, you go through the academy. It's about a 6 to 7 month long process. And then once you get out, you go through 3 month long phases with a different officer to get trained by them. And then you have 2 weeks where they're just shadowing you, and then you're on your own.
So is any of that training on the job training?
Yes, the 3 months after you graduate is on the job, and then the additional 2 weeks where they're just shadowing you is all on the job training.
What are your duties with SAPD?
The main duty is making your calls. So when you guys calls 911, they dispatch us. There's specialized units too that you can do, or in between calls, you look for stuff, traffic, stuff like that.
What types of calls do you go to?
Yeah. Anything and everything, loud music disturbances, fights, shootings, neighbor disturbances, just basic 911 hangups where there's nothing there, calls about homeless, calls about panhandling.
And how many calls would you say that you've responded to? Over 500?
Thousands.
Okay. And what do you currently do for SAPD?
Currently I'm on patrol, so just kind of those calls that we talked about is basically exactly what I do.
And have you been in any other areas of SAPD before patrol?
No, just straight patrol the whole time.
And what shift do you work currently?
Currently I'm on daylight, which is 6 a.m. until 2 p.m.
And is that the shift you, oh, sorry. Yeah, what were the hours once more?
6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right. I'm gonna take you back now to April 20th of 2024. Were you on duty on that day?
Yes,
And what shift were you working?
the daylight shift.
And that's 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., yes?
Correct.
Were you dispatched out to a call that day?
I was, yes.
Why were you dispatched?
The particular call that we're talking about, if I recall, the caller called 911